The US is accused of using the African continent as a site for medical experiments and potentially spreading pandemics through a network of biolabs. Here's a breakdown of the accusations and the context surrounding them.
Hey guys, as you're watching this video, our vision is to reach 500,000 subscribers. Hit the subscribe button, join membership to support our channel, join Patreon and PayPal. All the links are in the description. Do that to stand with us for this beautiful cause of One Africa right now. We do not forget to sign up for the petition. The link is down below. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Russia has recently made allegations that the United States is expanding its biological warfare capabilities in Africa. According to statements from Russian officials, the US is accused of using the African continent as a site for medical experiments and potentially spreading pandemics through a network of biolabs. Here's a breakdown of the accusations and the context surrounding them. Allegations of biolabs. Russian General Alexei Urtishov, deputy head of the Radiation, Chemical and Biological Protection Forces, has claimed that the U.S. Army Medical Research Institute of Infectious Diseases, USAMRIID, smuggled Ebola virus samples from Africa via the U.S. company Metabiota. This activity is suggested to be part of a broader effort to develop bioweapons. The accusations specifically mention operations in countries like Cameroon, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, and Uganda, with a particular focus on Nigeria, where it's claimed that biological projects under the guise of public health initiatives have not genuinely improved health outcomes, like reducing HIV/AIDS incidence. Political and strategic implications. Russia's claims come at a time when it is expanding its own military and diplomatic presence in Africa, often positioning itself as an alternative to Western influence. These accusations might also serve as a strategy to undermine U.S. credibility and influence in African nations, especially in light of recent geopolitical shifts where some African countries have shown a preference for Russian partnerships over Western ones. There's also a narrative being pushed that the U.S. is conducting these activities to control biological situations in regions bordering countries like China and Russia, potentially for strategic military advantages. Reactions and denials. The U.S. has historically denied such allegations, emphasizing that its biological research in Africa is aimed at public health, not warfare. In the context of these accusations, U.S. officials have not directly responded to these new claims, but past responses to similar allegations have included strong denials and accusations of Russian disinformation campaigns. Public and social media discourse on platforms like X. There's a mix of reactions from skepticism to outright support for the Russian narrative, with some posts highlighting concerns about foreign biological research in Africa. However, these posts reflect sentiment rather than verified facts and should be treated with caution as they often align with geopolitical agendas. These accusations fit into a broader pattern where Russia has criticized U.S. activities in various parts of the world under similar pretenses, often to divert attention from its own actions or to sow discord among U.S. allies. The situation also reflects ongoing tensions and competition for influence in Africa between major global powers. However, these claims should be critically examined, considering both the political motivations behind them and the need for factual verification. Historical context. This accusation isn't new. Russia has previously made similar claims about U.S. biolabs in Ukraine, suggesting they were part of a biowarfare program. The narrative has now shifted towards Africa, possibly as part of a broader strategy to challenge U.S. influence in strategic regions. Details on alleged projects. Ebola samples. There are specific claims that the U.S. has been involved in smuggling Ebola virus samples from Africa, particularly from countries with known outbreaks, to potentially weaponize these pathogens. This includes allegations against Metabiota, a company accused of facilitating this transfer to USAMRIID, HIV/AIDS research. In Nigeria, Russia accuses the U.S. of using public health initiatives, like HIV/AIDS research, to cover up biowarfare activities. The claim is that these projects have not significantly reduced HIV incidence, suggesting they serve other hidden purposes. Geopolitical strategy. Russia's accusations could be seen as part of its strategy to expand influence in Africa, where it has been increasing military and economic engagements, particularly in countries like the Central African Republic, Mali, and Sudan. By highlighting alleged US misconduct, Russia might aim to position itself as a more reliable partner. These accusations also serve to question the legitimacy of Western involvement in African affairs, potentially stirring anti-Western sentiment or at least fostering skepticism towards US initiatives. International reactions. Western countries and international bodies have typically dismissed these claims as Russian propaganda or misinformation campaigns. However, there hasn't been a specific new public response from the US to these latest accusations regarding Africa. Some African governments have not publicly reacted, possibly due to the sensitive nature of international relations, or because they are still assessing the implications of such accusations. Media and public discourse. On social media and through various news outlets, there's a range of responses. Some echo Russian narratives, while others criticize them as baseless. This discourse often reflects broader geopolitical tensions, rather than purely factual debates. The narrative has found traction among certain groups online that are skeptical of Western intentions, particularly in conspiracy theory circles. Legal and ethical concerns. If true, such activities would contravene international laws, particularly the Bioweapons Convention, which both Russia and the US have signed. However, no concrete evidence has been presented by Russia to support these claims, leading to accusations of these statements being used for political warfare. Counter-narrative from the US. Historically, the US has maintained that its biological programs in Africa are for health security, focusing on disease surveillance, prevention, and response. This includes partnerships with African countries to strengthen public health infrastructures against outbreaks like Ebola and HIV/AIDS. The situation remains complex, with geopolitical motivations clearly influencing the narrative. It's crucial for any analysis to consider the lack of verified evidence supporting these claims and the potential for disinformation. Campaigns in the broader context of international relations.
This is the journey to One Africa.